internet. Here we are for week 2 of the prelim preview. Last time we just talked about the slices and the matches that are upcoming, but today we have the exciting fact that we get to look at the previous matches, and then we'll look at the ones that are coming up. So, without further ado, in prelims match number 1, we have several really strong players, including Deshuga, who was our 2023 SCPT champion. So I didn't catch all of this game. However, it was a very interesting game in which several of the players made a pact partway through the game that they were going to win make Necro, Banner Spear. And ultimately, in the last round, Deshuga did an attack that would have scored them a secret objective, that would have gotten them to pretty much get the victory, or at least work towards it very convincingly, revealed the secret objective, got the table to reaffirm that they were win-making Necro, even though Necro was behind at the time, and then chose not to score the secret objective. The table then went on to force another round by playing extremely quickly through an agenda phase that included an Ixian artifact. And then they win-made Necro by handing them everything they needed in order to win. It was pretty wild, and I don't know exactly why all of those things happened, but you'll see that there's a pattern here. Win-making is in fashion this time. So congratulations to our Necro player, Banner Spear, who likes the word Stroder and will be continuing on to the semifinals. Excuse me, sorry. In our second prelim game, we had another pretty interesting game. So Yssaril in this game is Andy Sandham, and Andy can talk. That man is a talker. He was basically running the table in terms of talking through everything as Yssaril. Ghosts kind of aligned with him to some extent. Mahawk definitely working against him. Son of Leto was playing L1. Got a little bit behind this game, never really caught all the way up. And everything was going really well for the Yssaril. They got construction, they scored in round 1. It was very exciting. And then they got a little bit greedy. They gave away their political secret, and they public execution came up. They had mod, so they had no influence. They managed to sell it to Goondok, who was doing very well in the game at the time, or rather sell someone else. I think it was Mahawk, to put it on Goondok, who was Hakan. Goondok had the confusing legal text to put it back on Yssaril. Yssaril lost all of their action cards. They didn't have the Sabo, and that is obviously a huge problem for Yssaril. They never really came back all the way into the game. Goondok then, as Hakan, started pulling ahead quite a bit, got QDN, and was very much in position to win the game. However, or at least got up to QDN. I don't remember if it actually got researched, but could have won the game that round, got slayed via both Benediction and Ghost teleported their home system all the way across the galaxy, so they couldn't easily take it back. So they lost their home system. That was obviously really problematic for them. After that, Mahawk was able to take Rex and squeak in their victory with a very bold play. Also being handed the win ultimately. So in the final round, they had Unveil. They didn't have their flagship built. They built their flagship. They were gonna do the Mahawk thing, or the Mahawk thing, drive the flagship around. The table was conspiring to try to stop it, but Goondok had had enough at that point. Ben did not accept the support, but could not deny Goondok sending a lone carrier to finally win make him. He probably would have won the game anyway, but it was win made to save a little bit of time by Goondok. So congratulations to Benedict, I think is their full handle. And as Mahawk, they will be going on to the semifinals. Okay. Also very exciting here, we have our third prelims match. Another really interesting match. So we had Jolnar sitting between Sar and Cabal. Obviously, that's a little bit aggressive, a little bit yikers, right? Especially when Cabal is Susan, who wrote the elimination guide and is super into that. What ultimately ended up happening there was that Susan and Schroeder, Sar and Cabal, decided to pinch Jolnar to get them out of the game, but this was not ultimately successful. Because Sar won so there were some trades made in which Jolnar was allowed to get speaker and was allowed to do some building and get some extra stuff to get themselves alive. And then Sar actually lost 2 of their space docks in a fight to try to take the Jolnar home system. Once that failed, Sar and Cabal, who were previously trying to ride or die, turned on each other. They decided to die instead of ride, and fought the entire game. Neither really ended up having much of a chance. Webby did a really good job kind of pulling Imperium kind of along, trying to get them to win the game. They were in a pretty good position, but ultimately Susan handed support to Jolnar, because if you can't kill them, might as well win make them. So this was our 3rd prelim, our 3rd win make. Congratulations to random 8127 as Jolnar for narrowly avoiding elimination and ultimately winning this game, going on to the semifinals. Let's see what matches that we have in store for the next weekend. So in prelims match 4, we have the Memer game. So we have Jadim Jedi, aka R-Wise. I think they're the same person, just alts of each other. Jadim Jedi, he who voted against, because he voted against Ixthian Artifact, won his 2nd qualifier on Cabal, after narrowly losing his 1st in the one that I ended up ultimately winning, in which he failed to take Ghost Home System in a timely fashion. Jadim Jedi loves Jolnar and punches Winnu. That's what those emojis mean. He's also a tremendous memer, and so I'm excited to see how that game ends up. He likes tech quite a bit. I think his biggest nightmare would be ending up Sardak and not starting with any tech. And his goal in life would be to be Jolnar so he can spam research agreement and make the entire table so techy, and he would be so happy. Good luck, Jedi. Next we have Green Bisons. Green Bisons filled out my form and gave me no information except for his Discord name, or their Discord name. So, yeah, they won. They filled out their form. That is not a fact I made up. It is true. They filled out the form technically. They won their 5th qualifier game as Cabal, and so we will see how this goes for them. Good luck to you, Green Bisons. We have Jazz Hands. Jazz Hands, the eternal nemesis of Jadim Jedi and everyone else on that server that they're in. Jazz Hands would like you to know that chat is stinky. It's not my fault. Don't blame me, chat. This is all from Jazz Hands. It's quote. Jazz Hands does, however, have a cute dog in lieu of a villain cat. Jazz strokes his villain dog, who is adorable and named Scout. Jazz won their 2nd game as Calaris, and we wish him luck. Except if you're chat, in which case you wish him definitely not luck because he called you stinky. Next, we have the meta. The meta is a super experienced TI player, in my experience. They won on the first day of qualifiers as Argent with their 1st game. And interestingly, the meta narrowly lost to Jadim Jedi in the semifinals last year. So we're very excited to see which of them can kind of edge each other out this time, or maybe neither of them will win. Maybe Scout will take over Jazz Hand's computer and then Scout will win. Who knows? We'll see. Then we have Max Vancouver. I believe they played as Lord Delore previously. They won their 2nd qualifier as Arborek, so we have to cheer for them a little bit because Arborek did not fill out my form, eats books. Did you know that? That's just so interesting. Why would you eat a book? Huh. Anyway, then we have Shorty 55. They won their 2nd game as Barony. And they read burritos. Huh, that's so weird. Why would you read burritos? Maybe it's because you don't like filling out forms on the internet. Shocking. I don't know, chat. What do you think? All right, our next game has a lot of people who won their game on the first try. So, first we have Morning Palace. They actually won their game on the second try. One of only 2 people in this game who didn't get it on the first. They won on Imperium, and they did not fill out the form. They run, but not from bears. Not scared of bears, but they do run. No comment on what they run from or for. Who knows? Next, we have Thoth the Raven. So Thoth the Raven won their first qualifier as Barony. Bit of a theme this week. Lots of people winning on Barony. Thoth originally was not a fan of Yssaril. I have converted them to being a fan of the Yssaril, which is great. Interestingly, Thoth was the player who in the qualifiers last year got eliminated almost. Not quite. Had to hang around the rest of the game. It was a partial fail of the elimination that kept their home system of Susan in the qualifiers last year. So Susan unfortunately did not win their prelim, but did win their qualifier this year. And so Thoth will be relieved that Susan is not in this game to make him have a hard time, and is hoping for some goblin fun, as I always am. Then we have Unoriginality. They won their first game as Cabal, and they run, not from bears. You know, no comment on what they do run from or for, but they definitely don't run from bears. They're not scared of those. If you're wondering, look at their username. It's Unoriginality. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, yeah. So good luck to Unoriginality. Next we have Carnal. Carnal won their first game in the first weekend of qualifiers as Nomad. I didn't have to make up a fact for Carnal, even though he didn't fill out my form, because I am fairly certain this figure is correct, that he has flown over 15,000 cumulative miles in order to play Twilight Imperium. That is wild stat. Carnal, very good player, very interested. Does not have to get on an airplane for this game. Hopefully is successful. Next we have the Bearded Boy. They won their 4th game as Titans, and they are in fact a Titans fan. They're also the bear that Morning Palace and Unoriginality are definitely not running from. The Bearded Boy is a ketchup historian and tried to give me ketchup facts to share. I will probably share those at a different time. I don't really have time to go through all of them. I think it was that ketchup used to be a cure for indigestion or something. But anyway, yeah, so ketchup facts. Very interesting. And then we have Alvi in the final seat. They won their first qualifier game also in the first weekend on Sol. And Alvi likes big planets, but he does lie. The way you can tell if he's lying is if he's talking. He is a highly aggressive player, generally speaking, who does not keep non-bindings, well known for that. So hopefully these players will have done their research, will have figured out that that is something that is true. I don't think Alvi exactly tries to hide that. Seems to have said this plenty of times. But is a very strong, aggressive player. So probably looking to play aggressive factions along the lines of Sol. We will see how they go. All right, and our final one. Prelims match 6. We have first Gamblor. Gamblor, not Gambler, Gamblor, like Semlor. Won their 5th qualifier game on Titans. They are in fact a Titans fan. They also really like L1 and also Necro. He is ready to play this game. I think is hoping for one of these red or pink factions. Also tend to be like relatively aggressive factions. Necro needing to attack in order to get tech. L1 bombarding everything for reasons. And Titans being able to be aggressive even if they aren't always. With lots of movement and ridiculous Saturn engines. So we will see how that goes for Gambler. We have Shombeiko. Shombeiko. I think that's how you pronounce it. Said it was like French he did, but I don't really speak French, so I'm doing the best I can. They filled out my form, which I really appreciate, and they won their 6th game on Yusaro. And you know what? I am here for that. You win on Yusaro. You're one of my favoritists right off the bat. Big fan. Good job. Good luck. No, I super appreciate. I think I watched part of their game, or at least heard about what happened in it, and I was so happy that someone won as Yusaro. It always makes me very happy. We have Scooney. Next, Scooney won their 9th qualifier game. That's quite a few qualifiers, so pretty practiced with this tournament format. They won on SAR. He's, SAR is a powerful faction, so good one to win on there. Scooney is a cookie monster. Likes cookies. Cookies! So good. I question whether Scooney knows about cookies, knows what cookies are, because, of course, the profile picture seems to be mistaking that vegetable sandwich monstrosity for cookie. But, whatever. Some people like vegetables. I like cookies. Good luck to Scooney, our cookie monster. We have 11 Spoons next. They won their first qualifier game on SAR. SAR is obviously a very good faction. 11 Spoons cannot count to 11. Look, your profile picture is right there, friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not 11. I know they sound similar, but no, those are different. Now, perhaps the crop is wrong, but in any case, we cannot trust that 11 spoons can count. Also, if they filled out the form, I might have had a different fact there. But as it is, no, please, that is 7 spoons. It is not 11 spoons. We can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Anyway, next we have Skyforger. Skyforger won their 8th qualifier game on Hakan. He is a Sardak fan. So the opposite of Jidum doesn't want to start with any technology, just wants to jump around with Gamma Mama and have some fun with +1 on all of everything. All the +1s. I have +1. It's so good. Skyforger has a TI fam. It's so cute. Yeah, able to play with his kids, which is super cool. Having a build. I play with my dog. She's very aggressive though, so she doesn't really boat float with me, which is very annoying. But yeah, pretty cool to have a built-in TI game ready to go, or at least part of one. So good luck to Skyforger. And then finally we have Jay Kierzak. Jay Searzak? I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry, friend. They won their 2nd qualifier as Nomad, and he is a Mahawked fan. So we like making people kneel, apparently. And yeah, that is going to be an interesting match as well. Not as many Game 1 winners here. We've got some folks who played quite a few qualifiers here. And that can mean that they're more practiced. It may also mean maybe they're less lucky. Who knows? It's hard to tell. But hopefully we have some good matches. Hopefully not all quite as win-makey as the last weekend. Although, it's not bad when that happens, right? The games just need to be interesting. They tell a story. Hopefully we're going to have 36 semifinalists with wonderful stories of the 2 games they won to get there. Keep scheduling your games if you haven't, whether you need to still make it to the prelims by winning a qualifier or whether you need to schedule your prelim. And best of luck to everyone. This is Elspeth signing out.